Barbeck is a proud sponsor of local H&R Preps.
Kelly, I just got a new cell phone. It's awesome. And I just shot a video of Nick at the game tonight. Oh my God, he is so cute. I'll send it to you right now.
We help you stay connected with a cute picture here and there. Buy local. Buy Barbeck.
Hello and welcome to this week's Preps Preview alongside Justin Conn. I'm Leroy Bridges. Season's winding down. Boys basketball postseason starting up. Girls basketball for the area just about over. We got one team left in Effingham at this point. We'll get to the top five, our second to last top five. Justin, I think you might have somebody new in your list.
I do.
And I'm kind of curious to who it is because I can only think of 5 teams at this point to rank.
Okay, number 5, I have PANA. Obviously, they took a loss to Vandalia, which is kind of a head-scratcher. I know Vandalia's had a good team, but that one sort of surprised me for sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't drop PANA out because basically there's nobody else who's played better than them, I don't think. Number 4, this is at Sangamon Valley. I got
Wow.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've mentioned Sangamon Valley in this list. Early in the season, I know they got some love, mostly from you.
Yeah.
You know what? They've quietly they've sort of got under everybody's radar here and started playing some good basketball. They did lose to Williamsville recently, but that's not a terrible loss, obviously, and it was a close game. They played them well. So they go into this 2A regional now, or I'm sorry, a 1A regional now, where Springfield Calvary's in.
Yep.
You know, right now, I think that they're a dangerous team, and I think they're the 4th best team in the area right now. Number 3, Windsor. My top 3 hasn't changed at all. Windsor. Number 2, St. Anthony. Number 1, I think that the team, like we talked about last week, that has the best chance at making state, and that's TEUTOPOLIS.
Yeah, for some reason, I just don't see, even with NOKOMIS' recent losses, and Derek Burke is out, injured, might be back. Hopefully he is back for their run in the postseason because he is their team. I just don't, I don't know. I just don't think I think there's those 5 that we've been ranking and everybody else. I'll get to mine. Number 5, NOKOMIS had dropped them, like I said, with the recent loss. I kind of got the feeling that Burke might be back. He's got a shoulder injury. He was supposed to be going to the doctor early in the week, but the news was kind of up in the air.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Without him, who's better, Sangamon Valley or NOKOMIS? I like Sangamon Valley.
Probably Sangamon Valley, but
yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, and up to this point, I still think NOKOMIS has played well enough with him.
Fair enough.
PANA at 4, like you said, they suffered that loss, but they've been great. When you look big picture, they've been great from front to back. So I've got them at 4, and then the same top 3: Windsor, St. Anthony, T-Town, the NTC, ruling our top 5 for most of the year. Some really good basketball from those guys, and Windsor should be able to make that postseason run. T-Town, St. Anthony will likely meet this Friday in a regional final. Looking ahead, kind of trying to break down the county coach of the year race. It's an interesting discussion because right now, I don't think there's a favorite, and I don't think you can pick from one of maybe 4 guys at this point in the game. This week's going to have a lot to do with that. Exactly.
I think regionals will help pare this thing down a little bit. Who wins that? Who comes out of that? There will be some answers there. I think that one matchup we can look at is in the Clinton Regional with if Warrensburg and Maroa were to meet in the finals. There's 2 candidates right there with Chad Kluver and Vic Binkley. Vic, of course, is Warrensburg coach and Kluver Maroa's coach. Then the other one is in the Argenta Regional with Sarah Gordo and Scott Bacon and Meridian and Jack Blickensdorfer. If they meet, if they get to the finals and whoever wins that sort of maybe gets a leg up, we're still going to have decisions to make from there. But I think that this week will help pare it down a little bit.
Yeah, and Scott Bacon and Sarah Gordo, they lose Jordan Ramey, the transfer. People probably questioning what they're going to be able to do without him because he was a big part of their team the last couple of years.
Very true.
And they beat Meridian earlier in the year. So maybe a slight edge there right now, but Jack Blickensdorfer, he's gone through tons of injuries, had tons of adversity on that team, had him positioned to win the Ocala Valley Conference title, didn't get it done, but if they can somehow win the regional title, he gets a bump up. Chad Kluver, that group has kind of quietly just succeeded all season long.
They may be the most consistent
Exactly.
team.
Yeah, and they haven't really had to battle through injuries and whatnot like Meridian, but they've produced consistently. And then Warrensburg, they win that county title early in the year. They went through a swoon without Drew Dunn.
Right.
But again, if you can win a regional title, play good basketball when it matters, I mean, it shows you that you could be coach of the year at this point.
You know, just talking about it right now, if I had to make a decision right now, and you really got me thinking about Cerro Gordo a little bit, and the fact that going into the season, I know I didn't expect a lot out of the Broncos. No. They were a 500 or maybe a little below last year team. It just didn't seem like they didn't have the size. But you know, the way Weaver and Christ have played this year, their athleticism has really kind of brought them to a new level. And you know, really outside of last year, you know, Scott Bacon's been on a nice run with Cerro Gordo. They've had some really good teams. You know, if the regional title would, to me, seal it. But right, you know, that's a guy who's done a real good job this year.
Yeah, I think it would be so hard to choose between Bacon and Blickensurfer right now if I had to. I don't even know if I could. Yeah. And that's why that regional, I think, means everything to kind of delineate between those two. Yeah. Because that's going to be kind of the final edge there, and especially if Scott Bacon and Broncos get it done, 2 wins over Meridian, a regional title, that's going to be hard to overlook.
No, you're right about that.
Moving ahead, just a quick recap on some girls basketball. Teutopolis' season ended earlier this week in kind of some disappointing fashion. They just got pretty much just manhandled by Nashville, and you were down there to see that.
They were, and you know, the one thing that really stood out to me, I sat behind Nashville's bench, and just the size of their girls, their shoulders, I mean, they were big, strong girls, and we considered Teutopolis kind of a physical team. Yeah. And you know, they just didn't have that kind of size. I mean, they have the height, but not the physical strength and size that probably 3 or 4 girls from Nashville had, and I think that you can really look at that and you know, they almost look like college players, maybe not the skilled, but just that size, and it really gave Teutopolis some problems. And I think I still feel like overall T-Town might have been the more athletic team, but they just couldn't get anything going against Nashville's size, and there's a reason why Nashville's made state a couple of years in a row here now.
And you look at PANA got stopped by T-Town. Could PANA, if they got over the wooden shoes, could they have done anything against Nashville? And you probably think no, because they're not as big as Teutopolis, right, and they got kind of pushed around a little bit in that second matchup. The Panthers beat them the first time around, but you know, the guards on PANA, you know, that's one of the things. You know, they start 3 sophomores. One of them has enough size, but the 2 guards, they'd probably get pushed around pretty well against that Nashville team.
You're right about that. I will say this though, and Nashville has I thought their best player was a sophomore who came off the bench, and I think her name was Shay Hari, but. T-Town and PANA are going to be back, and they're going to probably keep butting heads in that, you know, in a regional or sectional. So you know, we probably won't see both of those teams make state, but I do feel like both PANA and T-Town have a real bright future with who they have coming back and over these next couple of years. And when doesn't T-Town have a bright future? Exactly. So it's kind of ridiculous to even talk about that. But
and Cowden Herrick Beecher City will be back next year in 1A with Micah Jones. And also, Kelsey Dirks is back in Robinson, that senior run. Hopefully, maybe she can get Robinson over the hump. So, girls basketball looks like it's still going to be pretty good next year, and hopefully somebody can get through to state.
Surprised we didn't have anybody make state this year, though.
Definitely. Well, make sure you check out hrpreps.com all week long. We'll be out there covering the regional boys action, and we'll see you out there.